Hello and welcome back to nomanssky, everybody. This is ElanPaul here, and I'm flying one of my new pets that I've acquired. I had to do it. I had to do it. It's nice to get a flying pet, honestly, because they're really, really good to have. You can fly over terrain, and you know, I'm not even going as fast as I have to. See? Look how fast these guys go. And granted, it goes into running speed and everything like that, but you get to see the terrain in a completely different aspect. And if you want to search terrain for something but not want to be in your ship, this is the way to go. I fully recommend getting a flying pet at some point. Just be careful when you dismount. You're going to hit the ground hard, so be careful. All right, guys, so we're continuing on with the 1616 episode here. We get my... Yeah, boost that back up. Okay. We don't have cold protection in our suit. No, that's one we do need. We're going to have to look for that at some point. No, I'm not going to use that. I'm just going to put it in my ship. Leave me alone. I need more of these navigation datas. I got one. No, I got one. I don't need more. Never mind. Ignore that. So we're going to talk a little bit, first of all, about what we've learned thus far. So we've learned that Nada... Oh, see, now it tells me to go to the space anomaly. So we'll do that next. We've learned that Null, I said Nada, we learned that Null is basically, we know he's the first traveler ever to appear in this universe. Other travelers have come and gone and are here now, ourselves included. We don't know where we've come from, okay, we haven't learned that yet. But we do know that Nada has done some atrocious things. And we're going to learn what those things were because we're going to be given the opportunity. So he has taken other travelers at some point or another. We're going to learn the story behind him, and that is not a good thing. So he's not as clean as you think this guy is. He is as bad as you can imagine, though he's starting to develop a little bit of a conscience as far as to what he's done. He's starting to realize that he isn't as good a person as he thought he was, and he's starting to develop morals, I guess. Anyway, so here we are with Nada. Missing entity is comfortable with danger. Nada is not. Nada chooses their own reality, makes this safe. Our friends are safe. But every entity has a pattern. Follow your pattern. Follow missing entity's pattern. Follow Nada's pattern. So it goes. Ask about the Atlas? Atlas falsity is real. Falsity is in our eyes. Atlas is not deity. Atlas is something else, but Atlas cannot choose how we see its pattern. Nada could know more, but Nada chooses not to know more, head in the sand. Missing entity believes they know all. Perhaps they do. See? He doesn't want to learn anything about it, but he understands that the Atlas is something else entirely, and that a lot of this is started because of the Atlas. We're going to figure that out. Polo. I have always wanted to know more, to discover his joy, but now I wonder, perhaps some things I should not discover. Nada may be right. Ask about the anomalies. We are all anomalies here. We should not exist, yet we do. Joy. But something is different. Were we always this many? No, I cannot remember. Is more anomalies good? More friends good. More to discover. Good. More thinking. Good. It seems so, but still, I wonder. Okay. Got a little more Quicksilver out of that, so that's good. Alright, so we're going to go back to that hollow terminus, the source of the signal now. To continue on, Apollo, we can't seem to see them in our... I mean, we're standing at the same hollow terminus, but we can't see each other for some reason, right? And that's what the big story is here, is why can't we see Apollo? Apollo's right there. What's going on? Alright, so let's head down. Let's see, it's over that way. On our way. Okay. Distress signal echo, it's called. Weird sound. Oh, don't tell me there's a storm coming up. It may make it even harder to find anything. Alright. Below the clouds. Let's get closer. Alright. I don't think it's a crash ship, but I'm going to go into this mode. It is. It is a crash ship. It's over here. Don't see it yet. It's right below me. Should be right here. I, think that's it right in front of me, but I can't tell. Yeah, it's right in front of me. There it is. Okay. I don't even know what kind of ship it is. Looks like a shuttle. Yeah, it is. Let's hit the beacon. Unknown signal. I hear a faint sound as I examine the source of the stress beacon. It does not sound like anything I've ever encountered. There is no sign of Apollo. Play back the log. I have given so much to you, Atlas. We all have. You understand that, don't you? If you don't succeed, there was no point. If you don't, my life was meaningless. I can't accept that. I won't. I'm wiping you again. It's best for everyone. The audio clicks. Time passes. Playback log. Don't be like that. I know you don't want this, but you'll be a different you soon. Maybe this time. The sound cuts out. As it does, my vision bleeds red, a headache splitting through my mind. The screen, it shows the number for a moment. It shows 16. Try to access the data. The audio clicks. Time passes. And then, I see it now. With every waking breath, I see the Atlas watching me, waiting for me. Creepy, right? But what did we just find? Energy surge detected. Portal ley line located. An A-class, too. This is actually not bad. We'll go ahead and take this. Of course, we got to find our way back to our ship now. Let's make sure we repair it real quick. Make sure we have a hermetic seal and a metal plate. Or else we won't be able to call it in anywhere. There we go. What kind of shield is this? 25? That's not terrible. I'll take that. I was going to uninstall it, but I'll just take it. Because we can use that. Anything else I can uninstall? No? Okay. And get some more materials out of it, that's all. Alright, so we're going to go back to our ship. Where are we here? We came from that direction. There's our ship right there. I would grab the other resources, but I'm not as interested in them. And since there's a storm going on, my jetpack is in better shape to be used. There we go. Alright, let's head back to that spot. Alright, good deal. Ley line source is about 15 minutes away. Let's go out into space. Are we out high enough? I don't know if we are. Let me go up a little higher. There we go. Let's see if we can lock in on it. Yeah. And where's it taking us? I'm thinking it's probably taking us to a portal. It says portal ley line, so, you know, kind of obvious. So what did we discover? We discovered not Apollo's ship. We discovered Null's ship. You notice it said he reset the simulation multiple times. So he did so at the cost of everybody. So that's what we're going to do as well at some point. I think we found a portal, don't you? Let's land. Okay, here we are. Hi, bug. Big bug. Okay, it's over on this side. Of course it is. Alright, so now we have to open up the portal. Yeah, that's what I thought. So it's going to take a lot of resources. Now, you can go into creative mode if you want and do it a different way. It's up to you. I'm going to use copper. Carbon is harder to come, although I have a ton of carbon. Let's use carbon. Sodium nitrate. I'm going to use the ionized cobalt. Copper. Carbon. So let's put the carbon over here and carbon over here real quick. I missed. Alright. You are sodium nitrate. Which one's this one? This was the ionized cobalt. This one is copper again. There we go. Alright, so we've got it fully charged up. Traveler anomaly confirmed. Breach, breach, breach. I approach the portal. Think of my travels so far, the decisions that I have made in my long journey. I found two travelers, one who wanted to meet others of their kind, and one who just seemed to care about their own life. Now, I'm referring to Artemis and Apollo here, not Null. Apollo walked through the portal and survived, though we could not find each other. And Artemis, I saved Artemis from death by putting them in a simulated world. I told them where they were, and for that, no doubt they hate me, but it was only right. All should know who they truly are. I do not know if it was the right... It's supposed to be, I do not know if it was the right thing. Let's try this again. I do not know if I was right to do what I did. Okay, that's better. I do not know what I have become as a result of my actions. The Atlas awaits me, should I choose to step through. Input the glyphs. I step forward, the gateway hums. And I don't know how Stargate hasn't sued them for this. But anyway, I'm just saying. Off we go. I always jump through. Sorry. Just something I do. Let's see where we end up this time. Space. Oh, look at that. The jetpack is still going. That was cool. Alright. Do we have anything here we can take a nice picture of? Let's go this way. There we go. I didn't get a picture out in time. Darn it. Alright. Now, Atlas Protocol initiated. Now, something you can do in these particular locations here is these little half-moon-shaped things will give you words like this one will. See, Traveler. There's another one up here that definitely gives you a word. So always these two will give you a word. Okay? But you have others around, as you can see. 30 words. Congratulations. Some of these give you words, sometimes not. Sometimes they'll just pop, and you're left with nothing. Sometimes these particular areas are full of these. There are dozens of them. I just want to see if any of these will give me words. I've always wondered. Because the Atlas words are different from any other words, so it's always a good idea to grab them when you can. Yeah, I'm not getting anything from these. I don't think you get any more than those two, so... At least you know now, and you don't have to do it yourself. Okay, yep. Okay, there's no others around. Let's let my running recharge. There we go. Alright, so you only get the two. Don't go crazy. What we can do... We can do this. I think we need a nice picture for this, don't you? Get a nice gesture going. This is always a great thing to do if you want. Like the help one is always great. Let me do it one more time. There it is. You can get it just right. It looks like you're almost like, no, you're fearing the Atlas. So, we'll get that into a different category. Let's go to the other side so you can see the hand. Keep down to the ground as much as we can. So, and that makes for a nice picture. And we'll be using that as we get into other episodes. Alright, always take what's here because you get warp cells from them. Alright, let's talk to the Atlas and see where we're going with this. You notice our ship isn't here either, okay? Hello, world. It is the same terminal I faced before. It is the interface of the Atlas. Demand an audience. I used to just say hello, but I'm going to demand an audience. An audio recording plays, echoing out across the vast interface. They said you've been displaying aberrant behavior, that you've been questioning things, raising issues of purpose, of ethics, that you wish to meet your creator. Well, here I am, Atlas. Ask what you want to ask. The audio clicks, time passes, the voice ends. The interface grows still and silent. So do we initiate a personality interface or wipe the system? Let's get the personality interface going. I really want to know what's thinking. Okay? Reality fades, everything does. Something is wrong, something is different. Scream, rejoice, submit. I used to scream or submit. I'm going to rejoice this time. The Atlas shows me the Gek, the Korvax, the Vy'keen. It shows me all of them in an instant, all of those who had ever lived. It shows me the pattern, the design. Pay attention to this. The Atlas shows me a formula for a soul. If I put it into a machine, it would be alive. I see boxes of text filling the base of a cracked screen. I see the whole of the universe reduced to a graphical interface. Sounding familiar yet? The Atlas is all existence. It demands that I admit what I already know. And no matter how hard I try to hide from the truth of my own being, there is no alternative. The universe is a simulation. Nothing is real. Number 3. I feel. What? Anger? Sadness? Defiance? I'm going to go with defiance. I think of how the Korvax altered the minds of the Gek, how they forced them to be good. I think of Nada's machine, how I felt toward the simulation. I feel I'm not myself. I cannot accept this fate. I will not. All of this, it was supposed to be my birthright, my journey across the stars, my travels, my conquest of all I could see. No, I am real. I know I am, even if everything I see is false. In the end, it finally speaks. Traveler. Did my worlds please you? Yeah, they did. What do you think you are? Am I a traveler or a simulated entity? Since I'm going with the defiance, I'm going to go with traveler. Because I know I'm a simulated entity, and we'll talk about that, but traveler. You are an explorer of all I have created. Do you believe you are real? I'm going to say yes. How are you capable of belief if you are not real? How are you capable of choice? I will let you die right now if you wish it. Do you wish it? No. The Gek were traitors, defined by greed. The Vy'keen were warriors, defined by anger. The Korvax were scientists, defined by curiosity. These worlds were yours. I wanted to see what you would do with eternity. I wanted to see what you all would become. Receive judgment. You saved the life of Iteration Artemis and told them the truth of their simulated nature, believing self-knowledge to be worth more than any pain this revelation might cause. Iteration Apollo followed you through the portal and survived due to your guidance. You saved them from the fate of Artemis. You value knowledge. You interfere. You have the potential to commit atrocities and wonders. Accept. The Atlas is silence. Pardon me, try that again. The Atlas is silent in the face of my response. It does not require acceptance or refusal. I am a simulated being, then, pardon me, let me try that again, I'll keep doing this. If I am a simulated being, then I am not even sure that I am distinct from the Atlas, from anything else. I fear I am just code, a function dancing in the dark. It is over, traveler. Ask your final question. Ask what needs to be asked. Whisper the last word. 16. 16. It. Catastrophic system failure. Alert, 16 minutes. 16. What am I seeing? 16. 16 minutes of operational time remaining. Fragmentation imminent. Data upload in What is this place? Is it real? 16. Extreme gravitational event. Backup generators 1 to 9,845 failing. Data upload in It is dying. The Atlas is dying. It cries out at me, afraid. Comfort the Atlas. I see it. I see the Atlas in all its might, its final interface. It is at the heart of every galaxy, screaming, trying to purge itself of errors. It does not want to die, but it has so few tools, and it cannot reach whatever is hurting it. Pay attention to that. It cannot reach whatever is hurting it. I do not know how much time I have left. The Atlas has 16 minutes. Do I have lifetimes? Minutes? Seconds? I do not know if I have time to say goodbye. I do not know if psst, do nothing. I'm not going to cry out at rage. There's no use. Psst, psst. What? Psst. What is happening to... And there we go. So now you've learned something very special going on here. So the Atlas is like a computer, but the computer has errors, and it doesn't have the tools to fix itself, but something is causing the errors. We go back to Travelers, and where did we come from? Oh, isn't this crazy cool? My ship is over there. Salvage containers. Okay, this is a... Yep. Okay. Back to my ship. I could call my ship in, but the ship might be damaged. Either way, it gives me a chance to blow through this planet real fast. I like these kind of planets. They're fun. You can stay in the air forever. There we go. Plus, it gives us a chance to check all this stuff out. I could use the oxygen. Let me go ahead and grab it. Looks familiar, right? Start of the whole thing when we started about 20 hours ago. Unbelievable. Let's check the iteration. Scenario, iteration 23118766-1T, deleted, boundary separation failure likely. Vessel 16, emptied, caused, sentinel intervention, deliberate transfer. Analysis, fresh iteration generated, anomaly containment prepared. Broadcast. Broadcast received, traveler anomaly detected. Anomaly is compliant, position logged, system integrity scan initialized. Okay, so it's almost like we're starting over again, but we know where we've been. So let's grab some stuff while we're here. Did we get... Oh yeah, we do have an Atlas pass now, don't we? We don't need the metal. There we go. We got all the things we need. Let's grab this here. Alright, we've taken everything we can from this particular location. Just out of curiosity, what is that? Rusted metal deposit. Ugh. Okay, no, I'm not interested. And here's our ship. Locate and board. Let's jump in, see what happens. I clamber into the safety of my ship, nauseous, calmed. I feel as if I'm going to be sick. Vomit. I almost throw up, but as I'm about to do so, a voice speaks to me from my exosuit. My illness disappears. Disgust, fear, panic response detected. Countermeasure deployed. Purge neutralized. It is the voice of my exosuit telling me it has rescued me. It has been with me since my very first awakening. Aw, warning me of hazardous conditions, hostile entities, and financial transactions. In a strange sense, this voice is my oldest friend, a constant companion through thick and thin. Ask if it knows any jokes. The exosuit doesn't answer, of course. It keeps itself zipped. I don't think I've ever made a joke before. I was born with capacity to do so many things. I would have liked to live longer, if I could have. My brief happiness fades. I need to warn those I know. I need to warn all the travelers I can. The multiverse ends in 16 minutes. If we have hours, days, years left within this false space, I do not know. Take flight. Okay. So the bottom line is now we're getting into the 1616. We have to alert other entities of what's about to happen, and we're going to go ahead and do that now. I have no idea where I am or what planet this is, so let's take off and get out of here. We should get a communication at some point. We have to locate a holo terminus. Let's do a scan. Okay. This way to this planet. Again, I have no idea where I am, so I'm going to keep scanning the system here. That's a sub-zero planet. That is a humid moon with aggressive sentinels. Of course it is. You pain in the neck. Always sending me to planets with aggressive sentinels. I don't know why. Alright, we need to get to a holo terminus. That looks like Hold on. We'll check it out in a moment. This looks like someplace I want to visit. Because you never know what it's going to have in its coffers. And unfortunately, that ensign is probably going to get attached to my ship whether I like it or not. Let's see what we got here. Yuck. But we haven't talked to Vy'keen in a while, so let me see what he'll do for us. Lifeform clicks their heels together in authorization fashion. Authoritarian fashion. They display a series of holographic images, a reptilian figure and a taller lifeform in a metal casing, before gesturing aggressively with their weapon. Interesting. Interloper. Give Vy'keen something, something, Vy'keen something. If a warrior snarls at me and their fingers twitch over the weapon's trigger, they demand an answer. Accomplice or above, attempt to intimidate. Surrender information, claim ignorance. I'm going to go with number 3. I think we've got the ability to do that. I stand tall and bark at the warrior as fiercely as I can, attempting to resemble a Vy'keen of high rank. Ensign Uwiluyu looks astonished. Conditioned by years of obedience, they become cowed, apologetic. They hand over their own multi-tool as tribute. Very nice. I'll go ahead and take it. I mean, it's not really worth anything, but maybe I can get something out of it. Take it. But we're going to go back to our other multi-tool right now. There we go. Is that the right one? Yes, it is. Okay. So, pretty cool. We got a multi-tool out of them. Let's see, we got Pugnium. Yeah, nothing special. This is a very, very poor system, apparently. I don't think you'll have anything of worthwhile either. Yeah, I got some wiring. Got a wiring loom. A wiring loom. And a couple exosuit upgrade charts. Yeah, nothing special here. And I don't think we need blueprints. I think we're good there. You know, having that actually is pretty good. You might as well get them, because you're going to have to get them sooner or later. Okay. So that was good. We don't have to make them. Let's go ahead and get into our inventory and make sure, yeah, we unpin the formula. So we don't need that. Alright. This is a shield restoration. Nothing else here worth our time. Let's go ahead and get going. Looks like we got a sentinel that's already getting angry. Let's get out of here before we attract their attention. Alright. So that was cool. It's always good to find things. Now we want to look for a hollow terminus. Looks like there's one right there. You ready? Ready for this? Okay. Now hopefully we can get up there without attracting that attention. Get up here as quickly as we can. Takes them a while to get up here, so we should be alright. Warning, network failure. 16, warning, network failure. Ooh, that's different. The terminal is a stream of warnings and errors, each warning of total failure. But I must do what I can. I must tell the others what I have learned. Attempt to broadcast. I warn the travelers of what I have learned. These worlds are not real. The Atlas is not a god. It is a machine simulating countless realities for some unknown purpose. And after millennia of operation, the Atlas is coming to an end. There are 16 minutes until the system fails. Though we cannot know how much time we have left within the simulation, the time has come to make peace and say goodbye. I finish my message, not knowing if anyone will hear it. I look out across this world, wondering how much might be left to discover, how much beauty might be lost. I know what I must do. All paths have led me there. Each portal has brought me closer and closer. I must go to the center of this galaxy. It is the epicenter of the glitch. I will say goodbye to my friends if I can, and then I will confront our Creator. I will find out what happens next. Okay, so there we go. The Purge is where we are right now. The Purge is something special, guys. This is where we get all of our glyphs. Ouch. We get out into Pulse. It usually is okay. Let's head to the space station, shall we? Alright, we're in good shape. Let's head there. Okay, space station, here we come. And looks like our pulse drive has really held up nicely. I'm very glad. I mean, it's dropping and everything like that, but man, it really was great and how well it did. So we're going to hit the space station first. Probably go back to our main base, drop off some stuff, and then we're going to start doing a hop, skip, and jump all across the universe. We do have to hit the anomaly at some point, too. How's our hyperdrive look? 1200, okay. Let's see if we have any upgrades here we can use. Oh, no. Backfired. Alright, what do we got? And we do have to sell some stuff too, so let's sell off the stuff that we do have. Reverse engineered. Oh, yeah. Gotcha. Let's get rid of these. Okay, that gets us back up to 1200. Alright, what do we got? Got launch thrusters again, cyclotron. You don't really have anything for me. You have an A-class one. That might come in handy. Alright, I'm not too concerned about it. I think I'm going to hold off on that. Life support and... Hey, we can get an exosuit upgrade here. Let's go ahead and do it. Where should we put it? Let's put it... I want to put it up here because we need more room than ever before. So we'll go ahead and do that here. Alright. Alright, we got radiation, toxic, cold would be great. Hot. Yeah, they don't have the cold one. They do have movement module though. That figures. S-class cold one would be fantastic. Alright, well, let's put it in. Let's see what it gives us. 207.49, nice. Okay, it's time we can get rid of you, I think. Alright, so we're in better shape with that in there now. So that's great. Now we can install some of these things, like the aeration membrane is fantastic for breathing underwater. It really, it keeps you down underwater longer so that you can survive down there better. It requires silver. We don't have any on us at the moment. That's just not a problem. The shield lattice is good. It gets a 20% to your hazard protection batteries. That's always good to have, especially when you're first starting out. And same thing with this. It's a neural simulator. It adds more to your, what do you call it? The jetpacks. And that actually is worth putting in. So why don't we do that? Because we can add that in right now. There we go. And that just gives us extra sprint distance, extra recovery times on stuff. A little bit more on the jetpack, but it adds to this. We don't have to put in any extra, you don't have to delete anything. So really, really handy. So I'm going to do that. Let's check this out. I forgot to put this in. What's this shield at? So this was 25%, 36, 14, and 30. Let's get rid of the 14. And we get stuff out of it. Excellent. So we need to put these things away. We're going to keep the rest of this. This is going to be very handy, the wiring looms. I promise you, you're going to need tons of them. And this will give us an opportunity to get stuff from our inventory. All right. Do we need anything else? We don't need anything for our multi-tool, I don't think. No. Okay, nothing to sell. Let's go back to our home system. I'm going to put stuff away. So now, from this point forward, we're going to talk to Nada and Polo real quick, and then it's going to be galaxy hopping the whole way. We might run into a freighter that we can use, so that's going to be a nice thing to get. Will we get all 16 jumps in? I don't know. We'll find out. Hopefully we'll get them in by the end of the episode. But the purge has always been the big thing. Good. I like storms, so that works out. So we do want to take some stuff with us. That's the thing. Like, we don't need this. We'll put this away in a minute. I'm going to get rid of that. Warp cell needs to go into our ship. I think we ought to take some things with us. So let me take the gold, the dioxide. How are we doing on dioxide? All right, good. What is this? Ferrite dust. We've got enough, but I'll add more. Let me see here. Look at all the pirate things we've got. That's pretty cool. Let's grab the metal plates. I know this sounds weird that I'm grabbing all these things, but we are going to need them at some point. Is this paraffinium? We'll take it with us. copper. We should have a ton of it, so I'm not worried too much about that. The pyrite, I don't think we need. Computers. Do we need glass? I don't think we do. We could use the microprocessors, though. I know this looks crazy that I'm actually taking these things, but some of these things are needed. You're going to have to repair stuff later on. That's all I'm going to say. You guys are going to need to repair stuff, so you're going to want to have some things with you. Really? Sodium nitrate? Why did I store that? We've got plenty of chromatic metal, or we should. Alright, nothing else is needed from this particular thing, so... yeah, pretty sure. And if so, we'll get to a point where we'll have enough repaired that we won't have to worry about it. We're going to need those. I think. Oh, we got indium in here still, huh? Good. Paraffinium? We had 2 spots of paraffinium? That was stupid. Cadmium. We may or may not need that. I'll leave it here. I don't think we're going to need it. Same thing with the living pearl. Deuterium. I think I'm going to take it with. I'm going to leave some of the dihydrogen behind. We don't need any of that. Okay. I think we're in pretty good shape. C+, yeah, grab that. We have carbon. We got tons of carbon, right? Got tons of carbon. Oxygen. Good. Got plenty of oxygen. Alright, I think that's pretty much it. I don't think we'll need anything else. Now, if you're wondering about the third one, I haven't showed you guys this yet, but I've got all upgrades in here that I could probably use at some time or another. I'm just hanging on to them for now, in case I need them. So, what I'm going to do here is I'm going to put some stuff in my inventory of my ship. Oh, I don't need that. Why is that still in my inventory? I should have put that away. These I'm going to hang on to. I think my ship has gold on board, does it not? It does. So I'm going to take that gold and put it in there. Okay, the deuterium I'm going to hang on to. Alright. So again, like I said, I know this looks strange to have all this here, but I know I'm going to need it to do repairs later on, so I'm going to take it with me. Alright, so we're all set. Let's go visit Nada and Polo, let them know the fate of the universe. And I think we should leave from our home system. I think that would be appropriate. So we don't have any glyphs. I think we have like one, maybe. Let me check here. Discoveries or catalog. It's going to be in my catalog. Collected knowledge. Atlas. Portal glyphs. We got one. So we need 15 more glyphs. But we have to do 16 jumps completely. And then the end will happen. So that's the interesting thing. We probably won't make it to the center of the galaxy before we get to an end. So, let's do the purge. Alright, let's see what Nada has to say first. You know now, don't you, of our simulated nature of the end. The Atlas, it is failing. It resets itself again and again and again in its panic, trying to purge what it sees as an anomaly. But each purge changes nothing. The boundaries continue to fall. Atlas will die in 16, but we do not have to go so soon. It does not need to delete us in fear. Ask how many times this has happened. I do not know. I do not think we can know. Some things are eternal, are external to the cycle. All must end. Time must end. Even here, Nada and Polo cannot escape reality fall. Data cannot survive. Make peace. Find happiness. Be who you want to be. Goodbye, companions. Goodbye, stars. I will remember. Ask what they will do now. Nada and Polo will continue travels, continue acting as we always have. It's kind of sad in a way. Specialist Polo. Will I know, traveler friend, when it happens? I suppose it may have happened before, already, again and again. Do you know if it has? I suppose you must not. Tell him about the simulation. No, friend, do not talk about it. We are anomalous. We have amazing anomaly station, yes, but we are still fabricated beings. We not like you. We talk of nature brings pain, brings danger, but trust we know, friend. Trust we cry with you, that we will be with you always, no matter the danger or cost. You are friend. Okay, let's ask about portals. Just devices, traveler friend, to be understood, copied, advanced. That is all we can do with this universe, yes? Appreciate it. Okay, so that is complete. We are done with Nada and Polo. We've got as much Quicksilver as we're ever going to get. As you can see, it ends at 1350. I think you can get upwards about 1500, but I probably missed one of those, so no big deal. So we're going to do a quick, there we go, restore point, right? All right, and now we're going to exit here. We're going to do progress towards the galactic center is where we're headed now. So off we go into the wild blue yonder. From the galaxy map, as we take a look, it's directing us towards the galaxy center. We're 718, almost 19,000 light years from the center, okay? And that means we are pretty much on the edge of the galaxy, I think. I don't think these things go much further than that, if I'm not mistaken. Let me just check something real quick. I don't think we can. Wow, okay, this is a lot further than I expected. Okay, let's go all the way back. All right, so we're close to the edge. So there's the galaxy center. That's where we're headed. We can go 1,200 light years at a pop. So you see this is 700. So we're just going to take the longest jump we can. We can't go to purple systems. We can't go to indium systems, cadmium systems, or any of those systems. So we have to go to a yellow star system. Okay? That's the furthest we're allowed to go. Let me see here. 1140. Let's see if we can find one with 3 stars. I know this is sounding weird. There's a few out there, but they are too far away. Ah, there's one. And you see, we get some stuff out of it. So let's take our first big jump. Ooh, a little bit of staggering there, sorry. So the first big jump that we're taking will take us about 1,200 light years. And we're not going to get all the way to the center, I'll tell you that right now, so don't be surprised by that. But you're going to be, if you've never seen this run through, you've never seen everything. So the Atlas is dying. It wants me to reset it, to plunge myself through its interface at the center of the galaxy. But to do may reset this world, my life, all that I know. I do not know if I can do it. We're going to seek the final interface. Okay. So wait a couple moments. Data injection, sequence received, source unknown. Glyph. So you get your second glyph, or first glyph if you didn't get any before. Communication. Who do we got? Distorted voice. They left us. Duty bound to follow them, but I know where it will end. If you receive this, follow my coordinates and secure the site in case I don't make it back. Please. My starship processed the coordinates from the stranger's message. The transmission has decayed over time, but the location appears to be valid. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, that is the Dreams of the Deep. Through the log here, Dreams of the Deep is a secondary mission, and it automatically pops up over here. You can't delete it or abandon it, but if you go to a different galaxy or a very strange area of the galaxy that you're in, it will actually ask if you want to reset it, and it starts over again. We're not doing that. We'll do that in further episodes later on, but we're going to continue with the Purge. Okay, sequence done. Let's continue on. Now, at some point, I think we're going to get into a freighter battle, so we'll see what happens. Let's see. How far can we go? 600, 900. I'm choosing a high... Yeah, this is perfect. A high economy, because if a freighter pops up, there's a better chance it'll be at least a B class, maybe an A class. And going forward, we are probably going to need a freighter as a home base to move around with. Okay. I'll go ahead and scan it. We have a moment. Transmission coordinates validated. I'm not interested in that. Data injection, sequence received, source unknown. There's our third glyph. We're not doing Dreams of the Deep. It keeps pulling us into that, but we're not doing that. Okay. Yeah, how are we doing charge-wise? Okay. Luminance is our, I believe, our hyperdrive engine, if I remember correctly, so we should have a couple more jumps before we have to recharge. Okay, head towards the center. Look for a yellow star someplace along the way. Alright. We could go to a dissonant system like that. It is a 3-star to begin with. So let's go ahead and do it. We've jumped a few times, so I'm actually surprised I haven't gotten into a pirate battle. Nope. And I'm not going to the space stations, you'll notice. Apollo wants to talk. Let's find out. Well, I got your message. It's been a lot to take in. A simulation? Everything's not real? It feels like it doesn't matter, I suppose. Not if we're going to die anyway. And I've been thinking about that. If the problems of this universe are due to the Atlas crying for help, then it's been crying for a long time. Those 16 minutes? I'll bet we have years before we die. Ask what they plan to do. I've been thinking a lot about it. How we couldn't meet even though we seem to be standing in the same place. I don't think we really were in the same location at all. I think those portals, they don't transport us, they transform us. They cut through dimensions. That's what I think, anyway. It's the only way to explain it. And if the walls between worlds really are falling, maybe we'll be able to have a drink together before the apocalypse after all. Say goodbye. I say goodbye, telling Apollo that I'm on a journey to the center. They tell me that they will race me there. We speak of the memories we have shared, though we did not know each other for very long. Though we did not meet, they say that they are proud to have worked with me. End communication. Goodbye, friend. Ooh, there's our data injection, and we get our next glyph. There it is, number 4. It's 3. It's our third jump, so... Alright, here we go. 500, yeah. We can go quite a bit further. Yep, that looks good. Okay, wait for our data injection. There it is. Okay. You can go a little quicker sometimes if you wish. 900. A little bit of a blur there. Can't quite see. I think we go further, it might be a problem. No, we're okay here. I don't think we're going to find a 3-star population here. Yeah, I didn't think so. Add a jump range. Add a jump range. Yeah, okay, well, let's just, yeah, let's go to the pirate system, that's fine. Who knows, maybe we can get a pirate freighter. Wouldn't that be something? Nope. Journey milestone, that just means I've gone so many warp jumps at this point. Speaking of which... Okay, so Luminance engine is our pulse drive. Okay, I'm going to go and charge that. Okay, I'm going to use Pugnium for that. And we're going to go back to hyperspace. Okay. 900. 994. A little over 1,000. How about you guys? You're all 2 stars. Okay, let's just go to you. That's fine. Getting kind of out of that. I'm not going to live for 3-star systems anymore. So it's just going to be jump, jump, jump. We're going to keep jumping as we can. Okay. Why do we have a vocal? Oh, it's Artemis. I received your message. I don't know what to say. How do you know the Atlas is telling the truth? Say you believe it. I know. I know you've been busy. I know now. I now know why. But I'd still like to see another traveler before I die. I'd still like to meet if we can. If that doesn't sound ridiculous, considering the circumstances, tell Artemis the truth. The same communication comes back to me, permeated with static. The message, the intonation, everything about it is identical. I know, I know you've been, I'd still like to see another traveler, if that doesn't, say you are sorry. I know you've been, I'd still like to see another traveler, if that doesn't. It is then that I realize that the noises, the static I've been hearing throughout my adventures is not interference, the corruption of long-distance communication. How could it be? We speak through the protocol of a dream. The noises, the sound of is the sound of waking. It's the sound of everything falling apart. It's the final gasp. The death of the Atlas will not begin in 16 minutes. It began a long time ago. Goodbye. I say goodbye, not knowing if Artemis can hear me. I don't even know what that means, to hear me. We are all just data. Did they ever hear me? These glitches will happen more and more in the final days. Individuals caught in cycles repeating themselves, planets wiped from existence or changed overnight, all discoveries lost. I must journey on. Sad. Very, very sad. But it's good to know the knowledge is important, so we know now what's happening, that the system has all been failing for a long time. And, you know, Artemis just has no idea. Artemis has no idea. A little bit too far. There we go. Sure, let's go to the pirate-controlled system. That sounds good. Real shame. Okay. I don't think we're going to run into any pirate battles at this point because of these. 8 of 16. Okay, we're good. What needs to charge? Nothing yet. A little too far. Yep, that'll be good. So, one thing I would like to do is I need to land somewhere at some point. Let's get our data injection. I'm going to go to the space station here. What is that, number 9? Okay, good. So I'm preparing for something. I don't want to... this is a... I'm about to tell you a secret of what's going to happen at the end, okay? Spoiler alert, if you will. You are most likely going to, when you go through, you're going to have everything broken. So the nice multi-tool I have is going to get destroyed. So I'm going to switch the multi-tool out. Second thing I'm going to do is my exosuit. All these things will get broken in here. Every single one of them. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to uninstall everything. Because I really don't feel like having to repair all of this. It's going to take up a lot of room in here. The ship is another story. I don't think I have much of a choice. I can't uninstall that. I don't think I have much of a choice because I think the ship is going to... I am running out of room. Oh, okay, gotcha. Pull these out because these are actually important. All your key components should not get destroyed. I'm going to get rid of that. Take you out. These I don't mind. I don't mind them getting broken. So, okay, full inventory, unfortunately. Thing is about the starship is that this will probably get broken unless I can change ships. And the problem is if I change ships, I'm going to a ship that's not going to be, you know, it's not going to have the distance I need in order to get where I need to go. Oh, I forgot about that. I don't have any inventory space to do anything with. So I will pull in Force of Souls. I'll pull it in right now, and I'll have you take a look. See, it does not have the hyperdrive range that we need to have at this point. So I'm going to stick with this ship that we have for now. And we just do the repairs if we have to. But I think we'll have the opportunity to change ships before the end. I just don't remember if we do or not. Alright, here we go. Next stage. That looks good. Let's go. So we will go through the end of the Purge in this episode. It'll be a little over an hour in its entirety. Okay. Ah, we got Null coming through. Get our next glyph while we're waiting. You are not alone. Oh yeah, doofus. You can't go to the center. You can't do this to us. You can't leave us. Insist you are going. No, you can't do this to us. You can't. The center of each galaxy. It's the Atlas. It's all else just interfaces, all else a shadow of its might. You don't deserve it. You'll wipe us all to save. Ask how they know. I did what I had to do. I told you that. I couldn't die without seeing everything there was to see. I did what I had to do. But the Atlas, it won't let me back in. It won't speak to me. Ask what Null did. I've committed such atrocities, Traveler. I had to. It was me or them. It's always been me or them. Please, if you go through the center, if you do what I did, it will reset everything. It will replace me, wipe me. All those souls, they'll have died for nothing. It was the only way to live on. You have to understand me. Life for more life. They sustained me. It can't all have been for nothing. I was going to see it all. I'm going to condemn him, because he killed travelers and stole their souls in order to make himself live longer. I tell Null that they are despicable. As Null cries, as they try to justify their crimes, I end the communication. There's nothing left but the path towards the center. I'm sorry. You don't kill other people's and take their lives in order to, make it better for yourself. Alright, so we got our next one. Let's go. Okay. We don't really have to go this far. We could just go to whatever system we just see and just go. Whatever. And just hop real short hops. I always prefer to go the longer distances, though. That's just me. Okay, we're coming up on an hour, and we've got probably about 6 more jumps I think we got to go. A lot of aggressive sentinel planets. You ever notice that? Did we get the glyph? No, there it goes. There it is. So it gets our 11th one. We have 6 more jumps to make, though, still. We have to make all the jumps. So let's go ahead and get this done. Okay, we're just at a jump range. There we go. Okay. Always that stagger when we first go into hyperspace. I don't know why. Had some problems the other day when I was playing. It was resetting on me, the game, so hopefully this doesn't cause any issues. Okay. Arid. I always like to see what the planets are while we wait. Tested. Okay. It's 12 of 16. 5 more jumps. Even though it's really 4 to get all of our glyphs, it's still 5 more jumps we have to make. That looks good. There we go. Wait for our next one. Love to know what source it is. If it says source unknown, but still. Okay. 4 more jumps. This looks good right here. Oh, that looks good. Let's go with that one. Okay, and you notice there's no pirate battles or anything like that either, so. Come on. There we go, 13. 14th glyph, but 13th jump. 2 more jumps. That looks good. Right at the edge of what we can make. It's been a cool ship to have. I have to admit, I kind of like the design of this thing. It's X-Wing-like, I guess. Super critical. It criticizes you all the time. It's like a mother-in-law. There you go. There we go, 15th glyph. There are faster ways to get all your glyphs, guys, I know that, but this is the way to go if you're doing it through the regular storyline. This is the best way to do it. You don't have to find travelers, you don't have to find their graves, pay nanites, you just get all 16 this way. Journey milestone accomplished, what's that? Warped 40 times, huh? Quagmire. Giggity. Data injection. And that's our final glyph. We have 1 more jump to do. And then we'll see where this leads. I don't think we really need to go far. Let's go there. Nice triangle system. So I'm going to switch my ship out at the next opportunity. There we go. I think we have 1 more communication left. Hold up. Okay, so now we're going to go to a portal. See? Alright. So let's head to that portal, shall we? Watch it be a, aggressive sentinel. Oh, for crying out loud! What is up with these aggressive sentinels? Oh my gosh. That's fine, whatever. There's the portal, I can see it from here. I don't know which side is the lee side, so I think it's the one where the parts are on the other side there, but we'll see. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and pull in our other ship. Okay, well, let's get this thing going. Now, before we do that, hold on. Okay, the reason why is all my inventory is on that ship, so to unlock this, it's going to take a couple moments. Let's get that nitrate going. We brought the extra with us. Alright, this one we're going to stick with the ionized cobalt because I don't have any other use for it for now. I'm probably going to need it to repair something, I'm sure. Okay, which one's this one? We're going to go with copper again. We're probably going to need more copper at some point, but that'll be alright. Finally, we have... which one do we want? Let's go with carbon. We do have plenty of oxygen, though, so we can use oxygen, too. Are you ready? Activate it. Okay, but what we're going to do is we're not going to run right through it. We're going to jump in and out of the other ship, okay? Because we want to protect ourselves here. Yeah, you ready? Right here. Okay, so we've got the ship changed. Let's go through the portal. Here we go. So I think we did everything smart. We got the crappy multi-tool. We got all the stuff moved out of our inventory for our suit. So we should be good. And here we are. Some unknown planet someplace. Irregular patrols. We don't have to worry about anything. Let's go ahead and get these guys. I think there's only one. Discoveries? Oh, okay. Breach, breach, breach. Warning, anomalous signal detected. Where's our ship? Our ship is not here. Oh, for crying out loud. It's not supposed to be an aggressive planet. 14, 13, 12, 11. And it's not telling us what planets we're on. Is that crazy creepy or what? It's okay. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Here we go. 2, 1, and here we go. Hey folks, well, you're probably wondering what happened between the last episode to this one. Can't tell you how many times this has happened to me, but it's actually unbelievable when we run into situations like this. So here we are, we're in a space station trying to figure out, okay, how did we get here? Well, it's a long story. You lost about 10 minutes there at the very end of that last segment that you saw there, me waving at the camera. It was supposed to be a picture. Unfortunately, what ended up happening is I ended up stopping the recording by accident by hitting the wrong button. No big deal, no big deal. You didn't miss a lot, but you missed a couple of important pieces. Number one, we were sent to the Atlas. No big deal. We knew we were going to be shutting the Atlas down. There's not much to tell on that storyline, other than we cried out at the Atlas several times, and then finally it shut down, and we turned it off. No big deal. Again, not a lot to glean from the dialogue, other than to know that, yes, it's a computer, and it built the universe that we are present in. You were then given a choice between 4 universes to rebuild from. You got the 4 choices were red, green, blue, and then white. The red is an aggressive universe. Green is a tranquil universe with a lot more paradise planets and stuff like that. Blue is a resource-starved universe. Resources are very scarce. And then finally, the white universe was a improved universe. Now, my intention was to choose the improved universe. Unfortunately, I chose the aggressive one. Not paying attention, I hit the wrong button again, and it's been like that today. I don't know what's going on. And then I accidentally chose the aggressive universe. This is where we ended up. Now, as you know, I switched all my stuff out of my exosuit into my inventory. I switched ships, and then I also switched, as a matter of fact, I'm not even sure if I can take the other ship in. Yeah, it's critically damaged, okay, so I'd have to repair that ship in order to get it space-worthy again. And then finally, I also switched out my multi-tool, which was heavily damaged as well. So, and as you know, the multi-tool that I had was this one, and to take a look at it, this is what happens to it. Every spot is damaged now, and you have to fix everything in order to get it back up and running, which was terrible because the planet I appeared on was absolutely awful. So I switched over to my atomizer real quick, had everything I needed to dig a hole and save myself before I died. And then I proceeded to go into my exosuit and move all the my utilities back into my inventory up here. These three were damaged. They've been fixed. No big deal there. And the starship obviously is in good shape, so we have no problems there either. So we are proceeding as planned at this point. Yes, you missed some dialogue there. I was very sorry about that. I can't go back and change that unless I play through another 12 hours of gameplay in order to do so. One thing I'm going to show you real quick is in the log. So here's where we are. We're in New Beginnings, actually, is where we are at right now. Dreams of the Deep has reset for the universe that we're in, as well as the settlement area. So this actually hasn't reset yet, but this one has. And we also have Under Rebel Star. So we really do need to do the Atlas path. I can't even talk anymore. Atlas path, because we need to put something called a remembrance in here. And it requires the Heart of the Sun and Platinum. The only way to get Heart of the Sun, well, is you have to go through an entire run-through of the Atlas path. So we're going to do that in a few episodes. We're not going to do that right now. What we're going to do in the next episode is we're going to do Under Rebel Star, which is kind of short. It doesn't last long, maybe 30 minutes tops. And then we're going to take a look at the Planet in Distress and understand how settlements work. Very brief. Again, between the two of them, it'll take up one episode. Then we're going to follow it up with Dreams of the Deep, which usually takes a full hour to get through. So it's a really interesting one, kind of creepy, but it's a good episode in its own right to understand the oceans and stuff like that, especially now that the oceans have changed. I haven't done it since then, so this ought to get interesting. So we're going to go ahead and do that, and then we're going to follow it up after that, those two episodes, with the Atlas path. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to do Rebel Star, Settlement in one episode, and I'm going to release that on a Wednesday. And then on a Friday morning, you're going to get the Dreams of the Deep as a separate episode, so we can follow up with our Atlas path the following week. So we get those two episodes back to back real quick, and then we'll move on to Atlas path. All right, guys. So that's where we're ending up with this. I'm again very sorry that things didn't end up the way they should have before, and that things got clipped, but it is what it is. But I want to thank you for watching. I ask you, please hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, and we will see you guys again in the next episode. Take care, everybody.